What is up, everyone? Welcome to the first episode of the Big Brother Brains. I am your host, Kyle Dorr, and I am a huge Big Brother fan. I am so hyped for the new season of Big Brother 27, following after last year's entertaining hot mess that is Big Brother 26. Before we start here, just want to lay some house rules for what BB Brains entails and what we're going to be dealing with for this entire summer. This is going to be a weekly show. So every week we're going to be discussing about every cycle of Big Brother, which we'll discuss about if for those who don't know what Big Brother is. And it's just going to be a weekly basis of like 3 episodes or potentially 4, depending on how the season's going, every week. And we're just going to discuss about that. We're going to discuss about the live feeds that's going to be happening over that week. And I'm also going to be doing some surveys over the course of the week as well. So if anyone has any questions or anything, I can also go over that and we can like just try to make a fun video out of it. But yeah, unfortunately, with my summer schedule, I can only do like one video a week on this. So I'm going to hopefully do the best that I can to sum up the week's events and go over that all with you with a fun video. But tonight, it's not about like the season episodes just yet. This is going to be about the new cast, the new house, and for those who don't know Big Brother, the rules of the game. So let's just go over some of the basics here. First off, just a little about me. I've been watching Big Brother since season 5, which was Project DNA, and I've pretty much been well versed on the series since. I've been watching the live feeds since I want to say Big Brother After Dark in like season 9, and then actually signed up for the feeds in I want to say Big Brother 13. I want to say it was around that time frame. And for those who don't know what the live feeds are, Big Brother is such a unique show because it's one of those shows where you can actually watch it live. And what's even better is that recently you can watch it live for free because there are 2 ways you can watch the Big Brother live feeds. You can watch it with a Paramount Plus account, go to the Big Brother section, and there'll be a live feed section where you can choose from. Or if you have a way to download Pluto TV, there's literally a section there for Big Brother live feeds. Same feeds, nothing really different other than maybe like an advertisement or two for Pluto TV. But really, you can watch feeds whenever. So, and I've recommended because the live feeds gives you a really more in-depth look into the house, and you get to see stuff that might not be shown on the show, or could be showing stuff that might be altered for the show. Sometimes that does happen. But that being said, just to give a quick rundown what Big Brother is, Big Brother is hosted by Julie Chen Moonves. She is, for those who watch Survivor, she is basically the Jeff Probst of the show. And every week, there is going to be 3 episodes. There's going to be an episode for the HOH competition and eviction. There's going to be, or potentially with how the season goes, likely HOH competition for either the eviction episode or for the nomination episode. Again, we'll get into the details. And then the Wednesday episode being the Power of Veto episode. Now, for how Big Brother works, it's going to be a group of people being isolated into a CVS parking lot of sorts, essentially like it's just like a giant studio lot, and they are going to be just stuck with each other for the entire summer, likely 3-ish months, somewhere around that time frame. Long time, honestly. And every week, a person's going to be voted out, and the cycle repeats. Now, what that entails with every cycle, it's going to start off like this. There is going to be, like I said, an HOH competition. And what are HOH competitions? They are called head of household competitions. Whoever wins that, they are automatically safe for the week. They have their own bedroom with like the perks of food, music, bathroom, all the nice stuff. But the most important thing, and this goes into the Sunday episode, nominations. The HOH will nominate 3 people, 3 people for eviction because it has been confirmed that last season's twist, AI Arena, which we will get into, is coming back. So likely 3 people will be put up for eviction, meaning those 3 people are eligible to be voted out. So once that is done, going to the Wednesday episode, there is a competition called the Power of Veto, where the HOH, the nominees, so the 3 nominees, and 2, in this case, random house guests, would be competing together for the Power of Veto. And whoever wins the power veto has the opportunity to use it. And if you win the power veto, you are not eligible to be put up as a replacement if you were not on the block to begin with. If the veto is used in any way, the HOH puts up a new player as a replacement. So then going into the Thursday night episode, the live eviction, where I mentioned they're bringing back the AI arena. I don't know what they're renaming it to, but it's essentially going to be a competition where these three players are going to compete. And whoever wins that competition, they are taken off the block. They are not eligible to be voted out. So the two people remaining, they are the people that the House is going to vote out. And how voting works is that the HOH and the nominees, they do not vote. If there is a tiebreaker, however, the HOH then has to break it. So once the votes are done and everything's said and done, a person is voted out. They have like a few minutes to get their belongings, head out and interview Julie Chen. And then the outgoing HOH cannot compete in the next HOH competition. And then the cycle repeats. Another HOH competition, nominations, etc., etc. And later on in the season, there is a thing called double eviction, where it's a night of like a whole cycle done within the whole night of the episode. So literally within an hour's time, two people are going to be voted out. Really intense, really fun. But yeah, that's basically what you're going to expect with the season of Big Brother. And it ends in a final two, and whoever wins the season gets $750,000. Where it was up to, recently, like a couple seasons ago, since season 23. Initially, the original prize was 500,000. But we're done talking about the rules. Let's talk about the season because this is probably one of the best looking this house has ever looked in the entire series. Because like the theme of this season, and actually let me just adjust how I'm sharing this. I want to show my face on here. There we go. So this theme, and every season of Big Brother, there's going to be a different theme. There's going to be there will be twists involved. The theme this season is looking to be a murder mystery in a very opulent hotel. Think of like the Grand Budapest with a very noir vibe, and it just very feels like old money with the hotel. As you see, we got like our reception area here as like you walk into the Big Brother house. Very opulent, all these keys around. One of the things that people will always do is just like look around the house, take clues and whatnot, because you don't know what to expect. And the living situation here is very unique to say the least, because we got bunk beds. I don't think there's ever been a bunk bed situation in Big Brother House, as far as I'm aware, unless it's like very much like the older seasons. But this is like a first, and again, it just feels very like 1920s old money kind of with how the aesthetic of the house is. And then like right here for another bedroom, this kind of looks like the attic of the hotel, kind of. It just very feels like everything's scattered about. Again, fun stuff. You got like little fun knickknacks hanging around. You got like these masks over here. It's there's some like interesting like little tidbits thrown about. And yeah, it's called Hotel Mystery. So obviously, very on the nose there. But the thing is with Big Brother, it's like sometimes it's a little bit like that, and they got like little like stuff like thrown around like with the stuff that could potentially be done later down the line. Because sometimes like the Big Brother houses, they when they incorporate the theme, there are twists that are done throughout the season, and sometimes the house has like some form of twist. So since we just saw like a safe lock of some sorts, potentially there might be something that may be done. I don't know. But yeah, it's going upstairs to a room that I'm not sure if it's open or not. I don't know if that goes into the HOH room or whatnot, but I don't know. We might have some more rooms this year for all we know. And then first look at our kitchen. The kitchen is just beautiful. Like this is like if you want to look like a very opulent hotel, this is so perfect. And this is like an area you're going to be seeing the most this summer if you watch the live feeds, because everyone's going to be around the kitchen. Everyone's going to be doing stuff here, and it's like you see like everyone's going to be sitting down there. They always have like a lot of like food and everything together. So it's going to be like the room you're going to be seeing the most this season. That and the HOH room, I'd imagine. But yeah, it's so beautiful. I love like the whole design, like the hanging shrubbery, all the shrubbery on the walls. It just it looks so beautiful. Um, see here going further, and we got another safe box. We got like a nice little area here. Peacock, some nice books. I don't know, they're probably fake books, I'd imagine. Yeah, and then we have our living room here where the evictions are always going to be held. Everyone's going to be sitting down on the seats. The people that are up for eviction are going to be sitting on those middle seats there. But as you can see, it just looks very opulent. You got chess pieces that are like hanging on the ceiling, and then the blue bookcase. It has been confirmed that you open those up to go into the diary room because just like Survivor, you there's going to be confessionals and stuff, and even for the eviction votes, that's where people are going to go to do it. So they're going to just be opening that little bookcase on the left hand side there and just go in and out, in and out. It's pretty cool. I like it. It just feels very much like they're very much incorporating the mystery vibes to it. But yeah, like again, this is such a beautiful house, and here it is open. It just mm, this has like the most like beautiful design and theming, and then we got like a little gym here, kind of like set up like an old time boxing ring. I know some people are going to take out their aggression on that boxing bag. There was like moments last season I feel like so many people would take advantage of that. And then like we have the upstairs is like right across from the HOH room, which is just like them playing chess a lot of times and chilling. It's a very relaxed area, and again, it looks very again. I can't stop saying it's beautiful. Like everything about the design of this place just looks so amazing, so regal, so nice. Even like the bathroom where everyone's just gonna be in and out of just feels so amazing with like the greenery and everything hanging. It's a beautiful house. I love the theming. It's going to be a fun murder mystery type season with what they're going to be offering, and I cannot wait to see what they're going to entail with that. But anyway, moving on from the house, let's get to what we're really here for, the cast. And before we go in, the cast is weird. And I mean weird in like the way they answer some of their questions. And I have my book with me that I've been like writing notes for all day, seeing all their interviews, and it's a doozy with this cast. And we're gonna start off with the most dooziest one, Adrian Rocca. This dude is a ball of energy. Um, and might I say, he is a little full of himself. You know, I think he needs a little bit of humble pie going into that house. 23 years old, San Antonio, Texas. He is a carpenter. In his interviews, he said like he was like build competitions to like practice on and everything. But the thing that really has me a little worried about him is that he's like going in saying like, "Oh, I am already a legend. I'm better than Dan Giesling, Derek Levasseur, and all these other people." And I'm just like, and even the interviewers are just like all on that like feeling to him. But even then, I'm like, okay, maybe he's just like playing it up for the cameras. But as the interviews went on, I'm just like thinking like, I think he's actually being honest here because and I with him it's like there's like a level of confidence, overconfidence, and then straight up delusional. And I think he's just under that line of straight up delusional, but who knows? I don't know. I just see him potentially burning out early. I think he's really like underestimating a lot going on. But he again, I think that's due to his age. He's 23 years old. I don't think he's experienced much in his life. Um, and with all these cast members, I'm also ranking them as well, just so like I can, have something like to see going back on the season if I had anything, any hopes for them or anything like that. For of the 16, and I'm going to say 16 for now. We'll talk about that toward the end. I have him ranked as 12 out of 16 because I could see him burning out quite early, but it might not be like a Frenchie situation from Big Brother 23 where it's just like he does way too much the first week, gets evicted the next. I think he could maybe do well, and maybe he's just playing it up for the interviews. Who knows? But take with a grain of salt there. He's 12 for a reason. But next up, we have Amy Beanham, 43 years old. She, I believe, is the second like like second oldest person in the house. Like she is just like one, like a few years away from the other person who is the oldest in the game. I did not get much from her interview, quite honestly. She's 43. She's from Stockton, California. She's an insurance agent. What I gathered from her interviews is just that she's really trying to push for the All Girls Alliance, which in itself, if you're a Big Brother fan, hate to break it to y'all, there's never really been a Black Widow brigade of sorts in Big Brother compared to Survivor. The closest that we got was like in Big Brother Over the Top called the Ball Smashers, and one of them did win, but semantics on that. Um, but yeah, like from what I got from an interview, it's not much. She's very soft spoken. She says she's very trusting. She's aiming to be the mother hen type of the house, which I think could work. It's just unfortunately I just don't see her doing too well. I don't think she's going to really go far. And because she's saying she's over trusting, she's trying to push for an all girls alliance, there could be a moment where it's just like she just says the wrong thing to the wrong girl. And unfortunately, it's just going to blow up in her face. So she might be early boot for all I know. But I mean, I hope not. The older like players I love because they're more outspoken. They do a lot more. So maybe she might do something to surprise us for all we know. But unfortunately, at this time, I got her ranked 14th out of the 16. I think maybe she could do better. I just hope that she doesn't really, really just charge in with that all girls alliance motif because I don't think it's going to really do her well in the long term. Then going on, we go to Ashley, who I actually have the most hope for. I have her ranked as my number one. I think she has the best potential, I think, to win this game because she is a very well-rounded person. And from her interviews, if anyone has watched Big Brother 24, she I feel is like what would Taylor Hale and Joseph like child from another universe or whatever would be. She has done pageants. She is a lawyer. She is just like very well rounded, very well spoken. And I really think that she has what it takes. She knows the game. She's nerdy. She has a fun personality. She's only 25 years old too, so she's gonna get along well with the younger crowds. And this is like the average age in this cast looks to be around like 29. So for her being 25, her being from Chicago, also living in New York, and being a Tory, which she says she's gonna like obviously not talk about, but if you whoever is like watched the show, it's like, oh no, like everyone who's been an attorney is never gonna say they are whatever they are. But as history has shown, attorneys, lawyers, everyone those types have done well in the show. And I just think that she can really do some damage, I feel. So I have her as my number one. I think she can probably do very well in this game. And hopefully, having her as a number one works out. But I digress there. So moving on from Ashley, we have Ava, another New Yorker. She's from Long Island. She is 24. And yeah, as her occupation says, she is an aura painter. Yeah, let that soak in. She's an aura painter. Um, and yeah, I have her ranked at 13. Yeah, Big Brother gets like a very interesting collective group of people, and Ava is going to be one of them for sure. For what she described in her interviews, she is a painter. She does aura paintings of people in like around the park areas and everything. And the biggest thing that I took away from that was her saying that she's not going to tell people that she's an aura reader because one, people might take advantage of that, and two, people might think she's a witch. Just say right there, she is a character. I will say that much. But I at least love the fact that when they asked her, it's like, why do you want to play Big Brother? It's like, I wanted the money. And I'm like, you know what? Good on you. She's at least being honest about that. I don't think she's gonna do well, but she might be a fun character. Maybe she might surprise me. I don't know, but I don't know. I hope she does. But she seems kind of cracked in the best way possible. Big Brother has a lot of wacky characters over the years, and she's definitely going to be one of them. I feel, but let's see how she does. I hope she can go at least a little farther than like a few weeks. And then next up, we have the oldest member of our cast. We have Clifton Will Williams. He is 50 years old, and he does actually. He's a college sports podcaster from Charlotte, North Carolina. And the what he does this podcast on, I believe, is women's basketball. And from what he's like said in his interviews, he I really like him. I think he has a lot of potential to do well. He's very well spoken. He has a lot of experience. He worked in the military for quite some time. Along with that, which he's also noted that he's like with his sports knowledge and how he like views like the game. He has said he's watched some of the seasons and how he notes like he just does not like people that are like saying like, oh, I miss my family, blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, already better than Kenny from last year. I'm already enjoying that. And he's saying he's not going to explain about like not going to tell people about his military experience. The thing about this entire cast, and like I said, is like why they I feel they're a little weird, is that all of them are just trying to withhold information about themselves. And I'm just like thinking like all that's going to be revealed in like the first week or two, guaranteed. Because when you're stuck in a Big Brother house for so long, everything's just going to spill out eventually. So we'll see how that goes. But I don't know. I like him a lot. I do have him ranked as six on my list. Um, and even though he has really good first impression on me, the only reason why I have him at six right now is because he is one of the older players. Sometimes older players do get left behind at certain points. Sometimes they go out early. Sometimes they get strung on to the end. But I don't know. I like him a lot. I think he has potential. I just wonder how he's going to work with his alliances. He says he wants to get more of like a collective group of like different variety, which I always like. But I don't know. Let's see how he does like in the first few weeks of the game, see if he meshes well. Because again, with him being oldest and again the median age being in the 20s category, it can be a little rough there for him. So hopefully he can relate well to this cast, or at least can connect well to some of the younger players that maybe it can work well for him long term. But moving on from Will, we have Isaiah Zay Frederick, 23. He is from Provo, Utah. He is a salesperson. And to those who have watched Survivor, apparently he is friends with Sammy from Survivor 43. Um, and after watching his interview, I'm like, that's probably the most interesting thing about him. Unfortunately, I did not get much from him. Zay, he's just like going in, no strategy. He wants to be adaptable to the game, and I don't know. It's just like he didn't really get much in his interviews. To me, I think he's just going to likely work with the guys, try to do like a dude bro alliance of sorts. He says he's not going to talk about him being in a salesman background. He says that like does done people wrong in the past. I think that he's just referring to more the survivor end because I don't think that I can recall any player getting voted out because of them being a salesperson. So unfortunately for me, Zay just isn't bringing much to the table. He might be good in competitions, but I don't see him being a leader in any way. I see him being more of a follower. And because of that, like I got him more in place in like the 11th spots. It's like he could do somewhat better than I think some of the others could. It's just I don't think he's just going to be the one calling the shots, is what I'm going to gather from him. So that's Zay. Moving on, we got Jimmy Haggerty, 25, from initially from Sarasota, Florida, living currently in Washington, D.C. He is an AI consultant. And if those of you who have watched last season, he would have been perfect against Amesley, the AI of Big Brother. Um, I like him. I think he's really interesting. I think he has like a unique aura. He wants to be villainous in a game, which honestly I'm not going to argue with that. Having a very villainous personality is always nice. He seems, though, very energetic, kind of like a type A personality, because he does say that he has a strategy background, both with his job and with his real life. I don't know why that is the case with like AI consulting, but I digress there. Uh, Jimmy, I think he can do one of two things. He either really has a strong game going far, or his planning gets to him very early and he flames out. I think I don't know. It's up in the air with that. I think he could do good, but I think he could also do bad. That's why I have him at 8. He's right in the middle. I want him to do good, but I'm also expecting him to do bad. So I don't know. But I like the guy that brings the drama. So next person, Catherine Woodman. She is 23 years old. She is currently from Columbia, South Carolina, and is a fine dining server, aka waitress, as she so eloquently put it for her interview. And again, for Catherine, like just like some of the others so far, really didn't give much in her interview. Basically, what she said, it was just like she wants to lay low. She's gonna likely coast by. She's gonna be a little passive. She's gonna try to play off her ditzy personality and just like say that her biggest weakness is being too trusting. Again, it's very generic. A lot of her answers were very generic. I feel like she's also just like that very generic player that we get every year of like the ditzy blonde type that sometimes can do well, sometimes won't. I didn't get much from her, honestly. I wanted to know her more, but I felt like she just wasn't giving us much. And maybe being that passive might work for her in a game. I don't know. I just see it though. A lot of like these archetypes though that are set up as like ditzy blonde typically do go far. I have her ranked at 10. Like it can go some ways. I just don't see her taking like a real leading approach to win the game. But who knows? Maybe she might surprise me. I just hope she can deliver more than she did in her interview because she was really boring. Next up, though, is another front runner, I feel. Keanu Soto. He seems very much fun. He is 33. He's from McKinney, Texas, and his occupation is a dungeon master. Granted, I think he's more of a personal trainer, but I guess they went for the dungeon master just to have him stand out. Keanu, I like a lot. He has a very loving personality. He's nerdy. He feels very much like he'll get along with people. And for someone who's well versed in Dungeons and Dragons and have watched stuff like Critical Role and everything like that, if you're a dungeon master, you are really good at coming up with stuff on the fly. You are really good at organizing, getting stuff together. That's a lot of stuff that really works with Big Brother. I think they could do well. And apparently, he's friends with Brett from BB20. So, he at least has some knowledge there on that front, too, I would imagine. So, with him, I think he can really do well in this game. I think he can really put like not only does he have like a good physical body, but he's a strong mind. Seems like he has a fun personality. I think he's going to get along well with this cast. I have him ranked as number 2. Honestly, I think he could do pretty well. I think a lot of people might be underestimating him going in just because of the dungeon master status, but I think if you know a dungeon master, I think they could do pretty well with situations like this, especially socially. So I think he can like really do some damage in this game. So hopefully Keanu can really like hang on for as long as he can. Also, love the name. Next up, we have Kelly Jorgensen. She's 29. She is from Burbank, South Dakota. She is a web designer. And to me, she is someone I have ranked as 16. And here's why. I like her. She seems nice. She grew up on a farm, which means she's very much like had a strong work ethic her entire life. And on top of that, she's been well traveled. She's traveled to every state in the country. She's traveled to a lot of parts of the world. So she's very cultured. She's very well versed in knowledge. My problem with her is I feel like she is just here for the experience. And when you're here for the experience, you might just fall behind right out the gate. And I just feel like her energy that she's bringing, she's like, I'm going to make everyone happy. I'm going to do all these things to keep everyone entertained. I'm like, that could really just not work well right out the gate. Because I think of Lisa from last season. when how she was just like putting sprinkles on everything, like therapeutic stuff on people's pillow. I don't know, something. I don't. I think it was also glitter, maybe, but I don't know. I don't think Kelly is there to play. I don't think she's really going to do well. I think she's going to flame out early or just like be used for whatever part of the game for someone's benefit and then just get cut later down the line. I don't see her winning it this game at all. And if she does well, then I guess I got surprised, but I just don't see her doing well in this game. And then next up, we have Lauren Domingue. Domingue? I think I don't know. I'm going to be butchering some of these names if it wasn't obvious. 22 from Lafayette, LA, and is a bridal consultant. So she's also someone that she didn't bring much in her interview. She did say that she's a super fan. One of the things I did like though is that she was like wanting to assess who to work with right out the gate, and she's also saying that she's willing to be in a showmance, but when it comes to push and shove, that she'd rather ditch that for the money. Everyone kind of always says that, and then kind of gets in the way toward the end. I don't know. She seems very interesting. I like what she's like bringing to the game with her interview, like especially with just like the assessment part. I think that's probably the best course of action for any kind of reality show going in to assess your competition before jumping in into anything. And that's why like I thought like someone like Amy is not going to do well because I think she's going to jump in with the All Girls Alliance, whereas someone like Lauren would like want to assess the situation before going in. And I don't see her going far. I I mean, if she it gets a showmance, showmance is going to go 50-50, but 9 times out of 10, in a showman situation on the show, um, it's usually the woman that gets voted out over the guy. Which is sad, but that's kind of been like the norm for a lot of the times for certain seasons. And I feel like she could be in that scenario. So I don't know if her putting herself into a showmance would help her game more so, but I don't think it's gonna really do much there. And again, for lack of information that I got from her interview, I don't know. But she could do better. Maybe she could do worse. I don't know. Again, that's why I have her at 9. Again, she's in that middle area there, but I feel like it's more leaning toward not as good. But anyway, going down. Next up, we have Mickey. Mickey Lee. She is 35. She is from Atlanta, Georgia, and is an event curator. I like Mickey. I think Mickey has such a fun attitude, and I think her interview was probably the most authentic out of everyone else's. Um, she said she wanted to play a very middle ground type game, so she wants to like try to maybe more likely float. I would say. Um, She's like, she says she's a girl's girl, which a little concerning there. But from what she was saying of the game that she's playing, she wants to really bond with everyone. She wants to play that middle ground game. She wants to really just assess her next move for each part of the game. And I respect that. And with someone who does event coordinating for multiple events, for what she's informed us of, maybe she has a lot of clients in different variety, so maybe she does have a lot of worldly knowledge in that regard to different people, cultures, and whatever to else to bring to the game. I think I can do a lot of damage. And again, 35 years old, I would say like being 31 right now myself. I think your 30s, you have like a more of an understanding of yourself, the people around you, what you can do. So I have her set as 4. I have her set in my top 5. It's the 4th person. I think she could do pretty well. I want to know a little bit more about her, but from what I got so far, I think it's definitely got a good impression on me. And then next up, we have Morgan. Morgan, I also liked. 33, lives in LA, California, and her occupation is gamer. She didn't specify what the games she streams are, but she's a gamer girl, so I respect that. She did interview, I don't know if it was a dig or just like her just not knowing it, saying like, "Oh, I'm the only gamer girl that's ever played Big Brother," when Alex O from 19 exists. But maybe the less we talk about that season, the better. So, but I don't know. I like her a lot. She says she's a super fan. She is a former track athlete. Like I think it was like like level one or something like that. That's a high feat to accomplish for her. And she said she was trying to play a very casual game, very empathetic. So I think she could be a very well-rounded player. She says she's not going to talk about her gamer background. I don't know why. She thinks she's going to get targeted for it. Again, everyone's just trying to like hold back on their careers and everything. Everyone's just going to be lying to each other this summer, which that's it's going to be like what we expect. But this is like lying, like for no reasons. But I digress there. I'm excited for Morgan though. She seems very fun. I like her personality. I have her ranked as five, so she's in a top five as well. I just think compared to the other four above her, I feel like there could be some danger to her game if she's trying to play more casually, especially if she's not wanting to really show people how much of a threat she is early on, because sometimes that could bite someone. But maybe she can figure something out to work to her advantage in that regard. So, moving on from Morgan, next person we got is Riley Jeffries, age 27, from Luther, Oklahoma. He is a professional bull rider. And yeah, his interview. When I said everyone was giving, when some other people were giving me nothing, this guy is giving me absolutely nothing. I'm sorry, this guy. I don't think he's going to do well in this game. I I have him set as like number 15. I he said he wants to play a follower game, which it can work, but for someone like him, I think back to like Big Brother 16, where like Beast Mode Cowboy, Caleb, like he did that same method and got burned pretty badly in that game. I just see the same thing. I see him probably going to take the fall for something he didn't do for another ally. He's going to go fall on a sword or something likely. I don't think he's going to do well. He's also looking for a showman, so you know. Uh, if he's going to go for that, I mean, there's a couple options to choose from, I guess, in this house. So, maybe he'll go for Lauren for all we know. I don't know. The fact that he's also like, from what I gather, he's also like a man of faith, which sometimes faith and Big Brother don't mix well. Um, and like his personality just seems very bland. And on top of that, he's he's like accomplishing like broken bones and stuff or his bull riding. I'm like, I don't know. I don't think there's much going on with him. I don't think there's going to be much going on with his game. Like you said, he wants to be a follower, which I mean, if you want to be a follower, be a follower. But you got to play the game at some point, dude. I don't know. I just don't think he's going to do well. I think he's 100% not going to win this game. Even if he does get to the end, I don't think he's gonna have like a winning speech or anything like that. I'll be very shocked if he even gets close to the end. And then second to last, we got Vince Pinero. He is 34. He's from West Hills, California, and he's currently unemployed. The only unemployed person in this cast, I believe. And first impression, he's interesting. He says he wants to play the game like a mini Big Brother season, like every week, and I both love and hate it. Um, I think he's trying to say that he's like going to be flexible with that, which I think is the right idea. But when you're too flexible in the game of Big Brother, people might see you as just untrusting. Maybe he's trying to go for the floater approach. Um, but then on top of that, he's I don't know, he seems very interesting. I have him ranked as number 7. I think there's a lot of potential with him. I think he's like probably the most honest of everyone in this cast. He says he's going to be honest about him being jobless. He's going to be honest about himself. He feels like there's no need to lie about all the stuff right out the gate about him, which I do appreciate. And I think he could probably mesh well with everyone in that regard because where everyone else is lying and everything, everyone's going to be looking at him as like, well, he's being honest. So I think that might work to his advantage. It's just him with doing like the mini BB stuff every week, I don't know, could bite him. I think there's some potential with that, but could go either way. And then finally, though, the last person we're going to be talking about is Zach Cornell. And Zach, I got ranked as number 3. I think he's a very well-rounded person. He's 27. He's from Catersville, Georgia. He is a marketing manager, and he's got quite the story. He has a minister of a father, um, kind of sheltered from what he described himself, and was like almost like an actual MLB player. I think he was like one league below, like he was like a minor league baseball player of some sorts, and he's trying to go off like the approach in a game where he is like the pastor's son. So he's trying to kind of play like a Dan Giesling type game going in with him with his background in sports, him having his religious background and everything. He can go work well with people. You know, obviously, probably like maybe buddy up with Riley with a religious background. He's probably gonna to buddy up with someone like I would say Will because of him being with his career. Granted, again, I think he said he was also not going to talk about being a former athlete. So again, it's like everyone's going to be lying about their career, but I like him. He seems like a very personable person, and I think he can very much. I don't know. Like I think he could very much do well in this game. I think he could do some damage, especially if he's in a very tight knit alliance, which I think he could definitely make. But yeah, that's the Big Brother season. That's our cast. That being said, though, there is an elephant in the room, and that elephant, it is essentially the fact that there may or may not be a 17th house guest. They said there's a mystery house guest coming in. There's going to be another person for sure. We don't know who it is. We don't know what it entails. The past two seasons now have been mystery house guests. When it came to Big Brother 25, we had Surrey Fields coming. When it came to Big Brother 26, we had Ainsley, who was the AI twist that wasn't actually a player. We don't know what the heck this is going to be for this season. It could be one or the other with this. For me, I don't think it's going to be an actual house guest. I think it's going to be someone that says they're a house guest, or it's like, oh, we're the 17th house guest. And because it's like a murder mystery theme, they're going to get like killed right out the gates or something like that. And the whole theme of the season is like solving who the killer was or something like that. That's how I'm seeing it. And I think it's going to be someone that has some ins with the reality show field because Julie Chen, the host of the show, said it's a very polarizing character that people are going to like or hate. So take what you will of that. I mean, they could be an actual player for all we know. If it is, then I feel like a lot of this cast will be easily manipulated by that player, more than likely. But that's neither here nor there on that. But anyway, though, the season premiere it is going to be on Thursday. I believe it is going to be Thursday at 8 p.m. Central. I should have been prepared for this part. But I think it's 8 p.m. Central, 90-minute premiere, I believe. Just double check on that. Um, um, and after it premieres, I'm going to be making my video for week one of Big Brother. When the live feeds, unfortunately, they're going to be coming up on at the Sunday night episode. So unfortunately, we're not going to be having night one feeds this season, which sucks. But what can we do there? But I'm excited for the season. This cast looks entertaining. We got a lot to work with. And like I said, the theme really fun. The house really amazing, and just like break over my rankings one more time, just to like bring up who I thought is like the best to the worst. So starting from the top, Ashley, then Keanu, Zach, Mickey, Morgan, Will, Vince, Jimmy, Lauren, Catherine, Zay, Adrian, Ava, Amy, Riley, and Kelly. That's my order. We'll see how they all play out. I could be wrong for all I know for this season, but that's my list. I'm going to keep adding to this book over the season. I'm going to keep reading from it, and and I'm going to be posting like surveys and stuff, likely on my Twitter, on my Blue Sky account. I'm going to add that information to the video. So if you want to give me a follow, hit me up. I'll be tweeting a lot about Big Brother this summer. So hope you all enjoy it. Hope you all enjoy the video. Hope you all subscribe to the channel, and hope you all like BB Brains. I'll be seeing y'all later like this week with the next episode. So cannot wait to see what's going to be happening. So hope you all have a good one.